Welcome to Bossed Up Academy, where we have Mr. Biden and CLUB STIMMY. And we got a new Queen Bee. And we got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight as we start building our audience here on Facebook and on YouTube. It's a lot of excitement. I'm really excited. I'm going to give you a lot of updates tonight. You might even need a pen and a pad tonight so that you can take notes and get ready for what we're going to talk about tonight. While our audience is building, we're going to take a little brief intermission and wait till some more people get on here. Hey, so I want us to talk about the little money first. Everybody's been talking about PPP. Oh, that list. So I guess everybody realized now that you can be a business without being an LLC, and that you can actually go under your personal name, and that's going to be for all of this stuff. It means that you're a sole proprietor. You don't have to. People are putting a big emphasis on LLCs when it's really not necessary. I can be Erica Simpson, DBA Erica Holmes. I don't have to have anything registered at the Secretary of State to say that I'm a business, as long as I'm compliant with my business license or a license from the state in order to transact business in whatever I'm doing. So enough of that. A lot of people are asking, where is their PPP funds? There has been a lot of requests, especially now that the deadline has been extended to May 31st. But remember that the extension does not mean that you can wait 2-3 weeks before you request this money. That means that what you need to do right now is go ahead and request your money, put in for it. A lot of people that are waiting on second round, some banks are holding your application for 8 weeks so that because they want to meet that 8-week quota. But some banks are going ahead and processing people's files without the 8-week hold time. SBA, that's the Small Business Administration. What happens with PPP is that the bank approves your loan, and it's not the traditional process because remember that PPP isn't credit driven. So the bank approves your loan. Once they approve and look at your documents and they feel like it looks okay, a lot of these banks got third parties that they're using to verify you just because of the fraud that's going on. There is some fraud, but the other day that at a meeting with Congress, it's only 8%. So that means 92% of the people are legit that are requesting these funds. But the 8% of people, which is a small percentage, that are doing fraud, they've hired these third parties to verify your identity. They're trying to make sure that you are who you say you are. A lot of the lenders now, they are stepping up their technology. They are requesting that you take a live picture of yourself so they'll know who exactly that they're lending money to. Some of the lenders require your back and your front of your driver's license because everybody has a barcode on the back of their driver's license. So a lot of these lenders are really stepping up their game to make sure that these funds aren't being fraudulently given out. So some of the third-party companies are declining people. But just because you were declined by one place does not mean that you can't go to another place. So whereas we were seeing PPP turnarounds in 10 days or less, now we're seeing where some people are telling us that they're waiting 30 days, 6 weeks to get their second round of funds. So as long as your portal is still telling you that you are in progress, that you're pending, because the SBA does not have enough manpower to process all these PPP loans. Not only are they doing PPP, but they just launched the Restaurant Revitalization Fund yesterday, which is a 12-page application. Then they have the Shutter Venue Grant that they've launched. Then they have EIDL, which we're going to talk about because that's where the real money at. So they got all these different programs, and the volume of people has never been this great for them. So what they did last summer for PPP, they hired a third party, Rocket Mortgage, to come in and help them get a lot of these loans processed for EIDL. So we don't know if they're going to do that again, where they're going to call a third party in to help them process these loans, but be patient. As long as they're not declining you, your funds should be coming. Like I said, we are seeing some delays since that March 31st deadline got extended. They are seeing if they may extend the program again. People are requesting a round 3. So if you made money watching my videos, drop a money sign or a money bag. The next thing that we want to talk about is the big money. The big money, yeah, people, y'all getting that $20,833. Yes, you can get up to $2 million on PPP if you got payroll. But for most small business owners that don't have an exorbitant amount of payroll, then you have EIDL. EIDL is directly through SBA website. It's directly through the SBA website. There's no third party involved. As you know, last week, and remember I said mark the date on these videos because what I tell you today may not hold true tomorrow because this stuff is changing so rapidly. So that's why you need to like and subscribe to Bossed Up Academy so that way you can be up on the latest updates. Remember, just last week I told you, email the increase email, follow the directions, put your business name, put your application number, put your loan number, put your address to your business, put your business phone number. Guess what? That it was a game changer today. Because if you don't go over to Twitter and these different platforms, you'll see what people are saying, how can the SBA, y'all not going to be able to process all those emails, not to mention the people that, even though I've been saying don't send multiple emails, but some people going to send multiple emails anyway because they really want this money, they really need this money. Well, they can't look at all those emails. So a lot of people's complaint, and remember I keep telling y'all to go to house.gov, senate.gov, because the power is in the numbers. So we need people not just to listen or to take advantage of what's going on, but you got to help us with changing the way things are done. And actually, every time we've been kicking and screaming, it's been making a difference. So last week, we was all rushing to send that email. Today, they put a request button for more funds in your portal. So if you log into your portal, and they said about 70% of people should have that button in their portal. Now, I don't know if they decided just to put they're just selecting who they're putting the buttons to, or if they're going off the emails, but I doubt if they're going off the emails, because it's no way for them to look at all those emails. So I'm thinking that what they did was, okay, we ain't got time to check these emails. Let's put a button in here. If the people want the money, then they come in here, click the button, request more funds, and we're going to send them a 4506T that they can sign, upload their tax documents, and we're going to send them another loan. So the goal right now is for you to have funding by Memorial Day weekend. So it seems like it's going to give you a lot to celebrate. So if you go into your EIDL portal, your COVID portal, you may get an error. Refresh it. Don't come in my inbox asking me, well, Erica, this thing, give me watch my video. That's what I'm going to tell you, because I can't talk to everybody that's on there when I'm giving the information to everybody at one time. So you got to have a little bit of skin in the game and at least watch my video to know what you need to do. So if you come up, and I'm going to stress this again, if you come up and you get an error, refresh it. You may have to do it 3 or 4 times. Continue to do it, because this portal is very new. So there's bugs in it that they got to work out. So the only thing that you need to put in the other box is if you have an open bankruptcy or something has changed with your information. Other than that, request more funds. And guess what? Remember, this is CLUB STIMMY with Biden. Sleepy Joe is making it rain. So guess what? This is not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm just telling you what I would do. And that is, I would go for the max. And some people, oh, I don't want to be responsible for all that money. Well, guess what? There's a lot of people in the world, in the United States, that are pushing, and I'm telling you, pushing for forgiveness. What does forgiveness mean? We learned what forgiveness meant on PPP, where they're forgiven. If you do the forgiveness, your whole loan on PPP goes away. And if you didn't see it and you didn't understand it, guess what? Go back to my post yesterday. I posted an actual forgiveness email that showed that money went away. The money not only went away, they gave you a certificate to keep in your files in case somebody tell you owe that money. So if they decide to make EIDL a forgivable loan and you didn't take the max, you just took $5,000, you just took $10,000, guess what? You're going to miss out on some free money. Your first payment is not due until 2022. Guess why they extended it? Because they don't know what they're going to do. Yes, you can go in and make payments, but is there any guarantee they're going to give you your money back for those payments that you made, and if they decide to forgive it? So while they're trying to get all this figured out, they don't want to be collecting payments. That's why they told you, hold your horses, hold your money. We don't want your money, because they still got to figure it out. So with that being said, if they forgive, say, $50,000 and they forgive half, you just missed out on a free $25,000. Why? Because you was probably listening to somebody that knows nothing about nothing, ain't never had a business. Consider your source. So with that being said, and if you didn't apply at all because you didn't want to take out a loan, and remember, the loan is 3.75% lower than most people's credit card, probably lower than what you paying on your, thank you for all these sweet comments from everybody. So guess what? you're going to miss out because you're listening to people who know nothing about nothing. Remember that in difficulty lies opportunity. So this is your opportunity. Then people, oh, I heard yesterday I went and spoke at a, oh, they can go up in your stuff. Guess what? When you file your taxes, they can go up in your stuff then and audit you. So what if you gave those same tax returns for your taxes and using those same tax returns to come over here and apply for EIDL? What's going to be the difference if you get audited? Do they have time to audit all these people? That's not the job of the SBA. The SBA is to make loans. The IRS is the people that audit you. So when you turn in those tax returns, you got a chance that you would get audited. So it don't matter. So, but now if you turned in one tax return to the government and you gave another one to SBA, guess what? Yeah, that's fraud. So guess what? That's going to be a problem. But if you gave the same information, you at the same risk for the government coming back and asking you about those tax returns. You should have had your business in order anyway. Because remember, we're trying to get out of business and we're trying to get into business. So get your stuff in order. What is there to be scared of? What is there to fear? And except for ignorance. Only time, and I'm going to tell you, KNOW. That's when you know it up here. And when you don't have the K at the beginning, that's knowledge. You don't have the W at the end, that's wisdom. Then you got a straight no because you don't know nothing. And that's the people that you want to listen to. So the people that's ramping and raving, and I'm not downing anybody. I'm not better than anybody. But ask yourself, do they have anything I want? Have they ever had anything I wanted? Do I want to be like them? Do I want to walk a mile in their shoes? They ain't got nothing. I haven't seen anybody screaming I don't idolize people. I don't try to outshine people, or I don't worry about people that's always outshining me, because guess what? There's going to be somebody doing better than you, and then there's going to be somebody doing not as good as you. But I will tell you, I haven't seen anybody that's been screaming, y'all going to jail with PPP. I ain't seen one person with anything that I want screaming at. I nowhere. Most of the people, I don't even talk to them. So guess what? Do you really want to follow that up? Also, I got a good comment here. Nobody can never call you selfish or a hater. That's why you blessed. That's right. And that's where your blessings come from. Because guess what? You got to give back. Remember, the rent you pay on earth is service. So let's get back to the money. EIDL. You're going to go in there. You're going to request more funds. Even if you got to sit on those funds as a nest egg, sit on them. Because guess what? You don't know if it's another Corona round 2 coming. You don't know if you're going to be shut back down. And then guess what? If you need some money, remember, we being proactive, not reactive. When you become reactive, that's when you find yourself in trouble. Because guess what? You ain't got nowhere to go, and you in a hardship, and it ain't. And those people that were screaming, "You gonna get in trouble for getting PPP? You going to jail?" Guess what? Ain't none of them gonna bail you out. If you go broke, who gonna help you? If we get another pandemic and you get shut down for 3 more months, and your mortgage company still calling you, your car payment finance company still calling you, your kids still need food, who gonna help you? So therefore, get this working capital to make your business work. So they're giving now up to 24 months. But guess what? Some people, and if some of y'all, I know I done talked to some people today and they was calling. If you got 2 times the amount, because we ain't gonna ask nobody, but some, because we don't want nobody to get robbed from one of those people that's gonna tell you on Facebook you're going to jail for fraud, but then they're gonna try to come to your house and bust you in the head if you put on here that you just got $500,000 from EIDL. So guess what? Put in the comments if you got 2 times the amount. If you got 10,000 last time and you went in there today in your portal and they offered you 50, that means you got 5 times the amount that they gave you last time. If you got 20,000, that means you got 2 times the amount that you got last time. If you don't mind, drop in the comments what requests, when you requested more funds, did they give you 2 more times, 3 more times? So, and on some of these internet sites, I've been seeing people getting up to 7 times the amount. So guess what? Is that a game changer for you? Yes. How should you use the funds? The funds is for overhead, for working capital. Working capital consists of payroll. If you're a sole proprietor, guess what? That's your paycheck. If you got a building and you need your lights paid, your water paid, if you take all your expenses and kill your overhead for 24 months, can that not put you in a better place, in a better position? Now, some people are a little bit confused about the wording. Don't let the wording scare you. If you get more than $25,000, yes, they're going to put a UCC against your business. A UCC is like a lien, just like your house. When you take out a mortgage, guess what? The mortgage company put out a lien on your house. Does it affect anything that's going on with your day-to-day operation of your house? No. That's the same thing with a UCC. What they're doing, and what the same thing a mortgage company does, when you take out a mortgage, they put a lien against your property. It's on paper. It's letting them know, hey, that you owe somebody. You don't own this free and clear. So guess what? The SBA, that's what they're going to put on record with the Secretary of State that says, hey, this business owes the SBA some money. That's all a UCC means. That, hey, if you decide, if they're going to ask you, if you're going to go to a bank and request more funds from a traditional bank for a traditional loan, it's just going to let that bank know, hey, this person owes the SBA. So that way, if it's not coming up on your business credit profile, then that entity where you're trying to get more money from may ask you, hey, well, I see you got a UCC with the SBA. We want to know about that document. We want to know about that loan. So if you get more than $25,000, a lot of times they're going to file a UCC, which is not uncommon. Who cares? But I wouldn't suggest you take money and then go blow it. You need to take this money, kill your overhead, take your profits, and level up. Buy income. Take your profits, buy you some stock, buy you some real estate, buy you something that's going to make you some more money. Kill your overhead with SBA money, with EIDL money. That way, you're in compliance with what you're supposed to do with their money, and take your money and buy income. Also, if you go up to the 200,000, a little bit over 200,000, then they're going to want a personal guarantee. A personal guarantee means that you're going to be personally responsible for this business to pay the money back. That means that you can't say, screw it, put it on my credit. These are government agencies. They will freeze your account. They will garnish your wages, whatever they got to do to recover their money. So just understand, you pay those people first when or if you even have to pay them. Pay them first. But you got 12 months to use their money with no payments. You should be, in 12 months, you ought to be able to level up. So with that being said, that personal guarantee is you. It's only when you go over $500,000 that they're looking for collateral. Collateral means something like real estate, a building, your office building. But other than that, they're not taking collateral. Some of them been sending out, some of the emails are just generic emails about insurance and stuff like that. You do have to, and then the form that Rod that tells you that you had to have a meeting to give you permission to take that money that you took last time, and that the business did give you permission to do that. And if you're the only person in the business, then you will just sign that form. Make sure you send that stuff back to them. We got some questions here that I'm gonna start answering. Can you apply for EIDL if you haven't made a profit in your business? EIDL is not off profit. Remember, I told you now they going off that we are thinking that they're going off your gross, because some people are getting 7 times the amount. So apply and let them deny you, decline you. Remember that even if some people didn't get the loan, they still qualify for the grant. And right now they're going back and giving the $10,000 on the grant. So even if nothing else comes out of it and you get 10 racks, as they say, you got it for free. So I wouldn't, because this stuff, like I said, it's just changing. So in between, you can go in there and put your application in tonight. 2 days from now, they can change their mind and say, hey, I'm gonna give you more money. So I would let SBA tell you. I wouldn't tell you. I wouldn't let myself tell me. So I would encourage you, put your application in. You already at no right now. So guess what? You got a 50-50 chance that no can turn into a yes if you apply. But if you don't apply, you still at no. So I would just encourage you to go ahead, because like I said, this stuff changing every day. Remember a couple weeks ago, I told you the cap was 150. Then I came back about a month ago and said the cap was 500,000. Last week, they came back and changed the cap to 2 million. Last year, they told you if you had employees, you only was going to get $1,000 per person. They came back this year and said, we're going to give you the rest of the $10,000, plus we're going to add another $5,000 grant, which will give you a total of $15,000 for the grant. This stuff changing too much. Apply and let them tell you. Don't let nobody else tell you, especially people that don't know nothing about nothing. Let's see. We got some more questions here. Do you know if they're sending the rest of the grant before the loan, or will it come together? Really and truly, I don't know if they know what they're doing. And this goes to tell us that they're saying that they're trying to get the money out by Memorial Day weekend, but this is going to be a lot of money because a lot of businesses are going to qualify, because when you talk about small business, you talk about businesses under 500 employees. So that's not just sole proprietors. And remember, small businesses collectively employ more people than Fortune 500 companies. So they're saying that this 24 months of working capital may come in increments. They may give you a first draw of 6 months, but you're going to have a max. Nobody really knows at this point, because they just got to figure out how to get these people's application out, verify them. And so we don't know. And they saying that they're going to do something with the grant and they just might shoot that money out. But it's just varying on a time frame. And the more that people harass them, the more that they come up with better ways of doing things. So at this point, it's up in the air, really. I really want the PPP, but I don't have a business account on or before February 15th. Is there any way around it? If you didn't have a business account, it depends on, are you a entity, or are you doing business as yourself? Remember, I told you that you can do business as yourself. So if you're a sole proprietor that's working under your name, under your social security number, I'm gonna just give you an example, a hairdresser that's renting a booth in a shop. Well, guess what? That hairdresser don't have a name. They using their own name on their tax return. So guess what? If they went to apply for PPP, they're going to apply with PPP using their personal bank statements, because guess what? They do business as themselves as a sole proprietor. So you don't have to have a formal business name to be doing business. You as a individual can be a business entity, and that's called sole proprietorship. So it just depends on if you're a sole proprietor. To answer your question, when do you expect to hear back from EIDL after you sent the email requesting the increase? That's why I'm telling everybody to go in their portal tonight, because they saying that 70% of the people, they drop that button that says request. That's why I'm telling you, keep going in there. There's an error. There's a bug with that request. But if they call for you to do it 3 times, 4 times, just get it done. Get it done tonight. Go in your portal tonight and check for it, because that's why they created the button, because it was just going to be too hard for them to go through all those emails. And you got some people in the world that's just going to email them every day, and they ain't never going to get to those emails. So it was easier for them to create the button. So go to your portal, log in, and do the request more funds. You should see a button there. On your grant, though, it'll tell you if your grant is still in progress or pending. So that is 2 separate things. But go into you, and that's another reason why I'm saying this tonight. Go into your portal, and if you got the button, click on the button that says request more funds and put yes. And that's why I'm telling you, it's going to give you a range. It'll tell you from 22,000 to 91,000, from 100,000 to 500,000. I'm telling you to hit the max, because if they do a forgiveness on this, you're going to be sick if you didn't take the money. And there's no payment due on this money until 2022. And that ain't even in concrete, because you've been getting bills all year telling you was going to have to start paying 2021. But they just came out a few weeks ago and said, no, wait to 2022, because they got to figure this out. So I'm not giving financial advice. Do not hold me to this. Do not comment. Say you get me in debt, or you told my husband to click on that button. I don't want to hear none of that. I ain't giving no advice. I'm just telling you what I would do. And that is apply for the max, because if they forgive this money, and then, or if they do a partial forgiveness, that means that if the more money I took, the partial forgiveness is going to be greater than the less money I took. And not only, and also what another thing is that I didn't tell you was that they got in the air that they want a full forgiveness. These are the options that they're giving these Congress people for them to get reelected in these midterm elections. They're saying, we want full forgiveness. If you can't do full forgiveness, we want a partial forgiveness. If you're not doing a partial forgiveness, then we want you to reduce the rate to either 0 or 1%. So if they do, say you get 500,000, they forgive half. You just got a free $250,000. Okay. Now this other 250,000, they tell you you're gonna give them 1% interest rate on 250,000. But every day before the pandemic, people was running around, how am I get some money for my business? Can I get some money to grow my business? They're giving you 24 months of working capital, and they not making you jump through all the hoops that a bank would make you jump through, and you gonna decline it? Okay, that makes sense. Okay. I mean, it's to each his own. Oh yeah, you're more than welcome. No button in my portal yet. Check every day. Check every day. I'll check 3-4 times a day. I'll be checking. But that, like Candy say, don't check for me unless you got to check for me. I'm gonna be checking for EIDL. I'm gonna be in that portal. I'm gonna be checking that portal. So I will put that portal on my cell phone. Make sure you know what your username and password is. So I would definitely check that portal. Like I said, 70% of the people, that means that you may just be in that other percentage, but make sure you checking that. And then if you don't, even if you want to, they got a customer service line. They got a customer service email. I would send, do you have the portal website and email? I'll drop it in the comments after this is over, but you can Google SBA COVID portal and it should pop up. But I'll drop it in the comments because I'll have to look it up. But like I said, You can email them. You can call the number tomorrow and say, hey, I was looking for more funds and my button isn't there. But make sure you're using the proper channels to do that. So if you're going to email them on the customer service, then make sure you got your application number. Make sure you put your loan number. So that way they don't know who Bobby is. So make sure that they can identify your file. They're going to click delete on that email if you don't have anything to reference. They don't have time to figure out who you are and where that email came from and which email is that tied to which loan. Make it easy for them. Make it easy for them or to even want to respond to you. So I would put my application number and my loan number and whatever business name into it. Oh, great. Sorry, I didn't have it handy, but I'm glad you found it. But do that. I guess I don't understand. What does trade name mean? That's the name that you're using for your business. But any more questions? Anybody have anything that they want to ask or whatever? But like I said, check that portal. If you don't have the button, go and email them or call them. And I found that calling early morning with the SBA, like when they first open, works best, because once you get into West Coast, 11 o'clock, then you're competing with not only East Coast people, you compete with West Coast people, and you compete with people that's at their job calling SBA about their side hustle on their lunch break. So a lot of where I've been seeing, even on PPP lenders, they've been saying that 11 o'clock to 3 o'clock window is like the busiest time for these banks and SBA. Where do you apply? If you did not apply, then don't double apply. But if you got the $1,000 last year and you didn't get anything else, that means that you already applied and that you are in their portal. But if you never got anything, you never did anything, then go to SBA.gov. When you go to SBA.gov, at the top is going to be a yellow banner. You can't miss it. If you see it on your cell phone, if you see it on the desktop, it's going to have a yellow banner. You're going to click on that yellow banner, and then it will show you all the different programs that they got right now going on for COVID. And you'll click on the one for EIDL. To be clear, there are two separate EIDL funds. When you say separate, there is a grant. That means that you don't pay that back. That's $10,000. Plus, they got an add-on that they're going to give out for $5,000. Then that's your targeted EIDL. That's the grant. Then you have the loan. I hope that makes sense. Then you have the loan, which we're talking about the increase. But if you never got it, go to SBA.gov, click on the yellow banner, click on EIDL, and apply. Any other questions on here? But I can't stress enough so that people won't come back to me saying that they could not get in. You got an error message. Just keep trying until it works. Log out, refresh, because there is a bug in the system on the request funds. And I hope that you understand what the implications are when you're doing the request of funds. Any other questions? Well, I hope that this has been very informative. Like I said, like and share our videos, because you don't know who this might help. What are the qualifications for the EIDL grant? Well, right now, when they came back, they had you to do for the additional funds. If you got like $1,000 last year, but they get the additional $9,000, they wanted you to show at least a 30% decrease in at least one quarter between 2019 and 2020. And then for the additional $5,000 that they were coming out with, they want to see a 50% decrease in between 2019 and 2020. So pretty much everybody almost qualified for the grant. I didn't really see too many people getting turned down for the grant because initially the grant was set up to be emergency funds that they were just trying to shoot out to businesses just to get them over the hump until they could approve their loan, is where the original idea came from. To give the grant was to get people over the hump when the thing. Thank you, Miss Wanda, for your kind comments. But yes, so like I said, go on there, and you don't have to do the initial, if you haven't done anything, the initial application and the grant are like a 2-for-1 kind of thing. So I would just go on there and, like I said, visit that yellow banner on the SBA website, because if you're in a restaurant, they got the restaurant revitalization fund. They got the shutter venue grant. There's a lot of opportunities for you on that website. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yes, thank you all for such kind words. But if you have any questions about anything, let me know. I'm here to answer your questions. Be patient with this round of PPP, or if this is even your first time getting PPP, these lenders are really backed up because, like I said, it goes from the lender to the actual SBA, and they got a lot of stuff going on because people are pressing them on in a lot of different areas, because essentially all of it's pulled back to the SBA, and they've never had this influx of people at one time. And you talking about millions and millions of people. So as long as your application is saying in progress and not decline, then just hang in there and know that your funds are on the way, and then know that they're trying to get funds out to people for EIDL by Memorial Day weekend, which would be very awesome because that'll be a little bit over a month from now. So keep watching for that. Subscribe to my videos, and I will keep updating everybody. I love doing this. I love talking to y'all. I love helping people. And if you don't know that I used to be a teacher, so this goes back to trusting your process of being a teacher. So, and I want, I don't have no hate. I want everybody to get the money. It's enough money that the government giving out right now. It's going to help a lot of people, but you got to know what to do with it, how to do it, and don't let people that know nothing about nothing scare you. Thank you, Quita. Thank you for always tuning in and giving such kind comments. They really mean more than you know. So thanks again. And like I said, I'll keep you updated as much as I can. I will go live as much as I can to give you the information so that you can have it in real time. Oh, thank you, Corey, too. So like I said, let's go to the moon. Let's get this money. Let's level up. In difficulty lies opportunity.